So in this video, I'll be discussing resistance. What is resistance? Resistance is a measure of opposition to the flow of electric current. The unit that it is measured in is ohms, and it is measured with an ohm meter. A good analogy for resistance would be water flow. So if you have a pipe that is wider, the water is going to get through it easier. If the pipe is skinnier, then the water will have more trouble going through, so it will have more resistance. Another more complex analogy for this would be heart disease. A normal artery, blood will flow through very easily, but a blocked artery, it will be harder for the blood to flow through. So this one would have more resistance. The laws of resistance vary whether the resistors are in series or if they're in parallel. When in series, the total resistance equals the resistances added together. When in parallel, the resistance equals 1 over total resistance equals 1 over resistor 1 plus 1 over resistor 2. So you have to use the inverses to find the total resistance. Ohm's law is another law that relates the three measurements of current, voltage, and resistance. You can use this pyramid method to remember which letter goes where. So current equals voltage over resistance, voltage equals current times resistance, and resistance equals voltage divided by current. So one simple example would be this circuit. So we have 3 resistors here, 2 are in parallel and 1 is not. So the first step would be to combine the resistors that are in parallel. So it would be A and B. So the 1 over the total resistance equals 1 over 10 plus 1 over 20. So you would take the inverse of these and it would be 6.67 ohms. So AB equals 6.67 ohms. So this would be our new updated circuit once we combine these. So now that both of them are in series, we can just add AB and C and get a total of 36.67 ohms for the whole circuit. This would be a more complex example where we have several resistors that are some in series with each other, some that are parallel, and it's going to take a lot of steps to combine these. The first step would be to add together the resistors in series. So B and D would be in series, G and H would be in series, and we would just simply add these numbers together. So BD would be 10 and GH would be 21. So now that I've added these together and made it a little more simple, I would combine the parallel resistors. So BD and C I could combine by using our inverse method, and I would get 5 ohms for BDC. Then I would do GH and F, which are also parallel, to do 1 over 6 plus 1 over 21. Take the inverse of that, and that total would be 4.67 ohms. Then, once doing that, I would combine more that are in parallel. So GH and F and E are in parallel. So I would take the inverse of those and get 3.56 ohms. Then, now that all of them are in series, I can add them all together. 30 plus 5 plus 3.56 plus 45 to get a total of 83.56 ohms.